Okay, we're about to undertake a massive upgrade today. Think of this explainer as a full-on masterclass designed to completely overhaul your mental operating system. We're actually going to use the real visual diagrams and frameworks straight out of the Mindset OS 2.0 PDF manual as our background visuals today. So we'll be literally walking through the chapters of that PDF to map out exactly how you can rebuild your daily habits from the ground up over the next 90 days. So here's our 6-module installation checklist. We've got booting Mindset OS, scan and cut energy drains, the 4% focus engine, deliberate practice and debugging, weekly anti-crash reset, and finally, rewrite identity source code. Let's get right into it. Module 1, booting Mindset OS. Take a look at this system initialization loading bar. This whole 90-day protocol is fundamentally about pulling the plug on your reliance on motivation. Honestly, motivation is a terrible fuel source. Sure, it spikes when you watch a really inspiring speech, but it completely abandons you on a rainy Tuesday morning when you're just exhausted, right? So this 90-day system initialization, it's all about replacing that super fragile fuel with hard syntax, patches, and debugging algorithms that make taking action totally automatic. All right, let's look at the macroscopic architecture of this new operating system. There are 4 foundational pillars keeping this thing running. First up is the engine, discipline. This is your mandatory power source that forces action even when you're feeling absolutely zero motivation. Second is the compass, clarity. This filters out all that external noise so you don't waste your precious processing power. Third is proof. That's the accumulation of little micro-wins that eventually turn into massive, visible momentum. And fourth is reward, confidence. And hey, this isn't arrogance. It's the automated achievement badge you unlock just by keeping promises to yourself. Temporary motivation just cannot sustain a 90-day run. Only these 4 interlocking pillars can do that. Moving on to Module 2, scan and cut energy drains. To truly fix your system, you just can't rely on vague intuition. You need a ruthless, 3-dimensional audit. We are aggressively looking for noise across 3 specific vectors here. First, mental noise, the mindless scrolling, the constant comparison, the overthinking. Second, environmental friction, a messy workspace or a phone just buzzing nonstop with unread notifications. And third, emotional drains and self-sabotaging behaviors, staying up way too late or engaging in draining relationships. When you run this scan, your brain is absolutely going to try to romanticize the truth. You've got to refuse to compromise and precisely flag every single destructive habit. Once you have that audit done, we initiate the cut protocol. And let me tell you, this is rigid and completely non-negotiable. You're going to look at your list, identify your 3 biggest energy black holes, and cut them. Completely. There's no, oh, I'll just reduce my screen time a little bit, or I'll try to manage it. Nope. Zero management. Total removal for 90 days. By decisively cutting these 3 drains, you instantly patch the massive leaks in your system, freeing up that vital processing power you desperately need to actually grow. All right, Module 3, the 4% focus engine. This secure block diagram here represents exactly 1 hour. That is just 4% of your 24-hour day. This block is your oxygen. It is non-negotiable. During this hour, you must build skills or solve hard problems behind a really strict multi-layered firewall. And by firewall, I mean physical isolation, digital isolation, hello airplane mode, and clear social boundaries. This 4% block is strictly for producing and building. Consuming content or entertainment during this hour, yeah, that is an absolute violation of the system protocol. Look at the performance curve on this monitor. Inside that 1 hour, your performance starts down in this chaotic valley. That is phase 1, the friction breakthrough. During those first few minutes, your brain is going to be screaming at you to check your phone or switch tasks. That's literally just the toxic residue of your old habits. But if you just sit there and remain present with the discomfort, you cross the threshold into phase 2, momentum takeover. The curve shoots straight up. Suddenly, you're making real progress. And finally, you hit phase 3, core stabilization. You are now entirely unavailable to the outside world, operating with incredible power and calmness under pressure. But what happens when that sudden urge to quit hits before you even cross that threshold? Procrastination, believe it or not, isn't a time management problem. It's an automatic loop of fear, self-doubt, and excuse-making. You cannot logic your way out of it. Instead, we use a physical patch, pattern interruption. When that malicious loop starts up, you physically stand up, plant your feet, take a deep breath, and command out loud, stop, refocus. This sudden physical stimulation instantly interrupts the autopilot, giving your conscious mind a 3-second blank space to step in and forcefully realign with your actual goals. Module 4, deliberate practice and debugging. Okay, there is a very strict warning here. You are only allowed to lock onto a single high-return target for the next 90 days. If you scatter your focus across 5 different hobbies, your system will crash. It's guaranteed. You must select one skill that scales your value, something like writing, coding, public speaking, or critical thinking. Lock onto it. This single target becomes the absolute sole focus of your daily 4% engine. So how exactly do you spend that 1 hour? We use what we call the 15-30-15 algorithm. The first 15 minutes is for concept input, basically learning the theory. The middle 30 minutes, that's the brutal, deliberate practice. You've got to expose your weaknesses here. Refuse to play it safe. Literally force your neurons to wire new pathways by doing the hard, clumsy work. And the final 15 minutes? Well, it is absolutely not for resting. It's the critical debugging phase.
During those final 15 minutes, you run these exact 3 queries in your terminal. Number 1, what worked? Number 2, what didn't work? And number 3, what exactly do I need to adjust for next time? Running this exact script is basically the alchemy of the whole system. It transforms raw, frustrating experience into optimized wisdom. Without this reflection, your brain will just blindly repeat the exact same errors tomorrow. But with it, tomorrow's session boots up using a newly upgraded, much smarter version of your strategy. Next up is Module 5, Weekly Anti-Crash Reset. Listen, without a weekly maintenance protocol, your freshly installed OS will silently revert right back to its old, buggy autopilot mode in a matter of days. Once a week, ideally on a Sunday, you need to sit down with your system dashboard and actually review your data. You track your action inputs. Did you do the 1 hour? Did you stick to your morning routine? You monitor your energy, rating your days from 1 to 5 to catch the bugs that are exhausting you. And you track your results. We're not talking huge milestones here, but micro wins, small glimpses of progress that prove the system is actually working. This dashboard feeds directly into the 7-step boot algorithm. You review your action, energy, and results. Then you apply just one single patch for the next week. Seriously, don't try to fix 10 things at once. Step 5 is crucial here. It's a physical resetting of your space. Clear off the desk, close all those browser tabs. Step 6 is setting your 3 navigation targets. And finally, step 7 is a verbal commitment to yourself. I'm not here to repeat last week. I'm here to elevate myself. Boom! System online. I really want to strongly emphasize this number right here, 60%. That is the minimum passing grade for your action data. Let me be clear, this 90-day system does not expect nor does it require perfection. Perfection is just a myth that leads straight to anxiety and quitting. As long as you are hitting a 60 to 70% success rate on your daily actions, you are maintaining forward momentum. You literally just have to hit this threshold to keep the system online. But hey, what if you do drop below 60% for a few days? Well, your system is officially in overload. That's when you execute the emergency halt protocol. Step 1, immediately halt all emotional self-criticism and switch straight into analytical mode. Step 2, zero out all environmental friction. Clean your workspace drastically to save your residual processing power. And step 3, execute a minimum viable action. Drop all your extra ambitious plans and just execute your basic 4% 1 hour rule. Submitting just one tiny piece of undeniable proof prevents your new identity from totally collapsing. Finally, Module 6, Rewrite Identity Source Code. This brings our masterclass to its climax, because the ultimate goal of this OS upgrade isn't just to give you some shiny new to-do list. It is to completely rewrite your core identity. We really need to look at the fundamental difference in how your brain processes goals versus standards. Goals are fragile. They establish a nice direction you want to go, sure, but they rely entirely on willpower. On a hard day, when your energy is completely shot, a goal feels optional. Your brain will find an excuse. Standards, on the other hand, shape your actual identity. They are the non-negotiable baselines of exactly who you are. When you bake a behavior into your standard, discipline becomes your automatic default setting. Violating a standard triggers severe cognitive discomfort, and that forces you to take action. To translate this into reality, we use a code diff viewer to exactly reprogram your internal monologue. Notice how we are deleting weak, hope-based syntax here. We're literally deleting the thought, if I have hope, I will try to read today. And we replace that with an absolute command. I do not skip my 1 hour of focus. We delete, I'll try to stick with it when it gets hard. And we write in the brand new source code, I choose to do difficult things. I am someone who keeps promises to myself. When you strip away the negotiation, you strip away the hesitation. And here it is. This 90-day execution script is your new architecture. An optimized morning, an unbreakable 4% core, and a weekly reset. It's not about being flawless, guys. It's about showing up consistently, even on the days you absolutely don't want to. Because that's exactly where the new identity is forged in iron. The code is written, the patches are ready. So the only question remaining is this. Are you ready to stop running on buggy, outdated software? Hit enter on your new OS and find out what your hardware is actually capable of.